Today we're talking about the nervous system, the endocrine system, and the reproductive systems. Starting with the nervous system. The nervous system detects change outside of your body and inside the body. It controls the way we respond to these changes. So anytime you experience pain inside of your body, that is your nervous system. It's letting you know that there's something wrong. Anytime you touch something, anytime you can feel something with your hands or your skin, that is also your nervous system letting you know what you're in contact with and giving you some information about it. Like, is it cold? Is it hot? Is it soft? Is it hard? All of these things your nervous system is responsible for. You have nerves all over your body on the outside and the inside. The nervous system is made out of your brain, spinal cord, nerves, and sensory receptors. That's a picture of a real brain. All right, inside the nervous system, we have neurons that are cells that carry impulses through the body. A bundle of neurons is called a nerve. So this is the neuron here, and it's broken down into even more pieces that you are not required to know. But up here, the little hairy things are the dendrites. In the center is the cell body. Then the myelin sheath right here in the middle, and all of these other pieces here. You don't have to know the pieces of the nerve. You do have to know that a bunch of these put together is called a nerve, and this itself is called a neuron. So the nervous system has a few different kinds. There's parasympathetic and sympathetic. The parasympathetic nervous system will bring the body back down. It restores it to a calm state and prevents your body from overworking. The sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for the fight or flight response. So parasympathetic calms you down, sympathetic gets you all sorts of hyper and anxious. These are all the organs that are involved in the two types of systems. The parasympathetic includes eyes, salivary glands, that's the spit in your mouth, heart, lungs, stomach, liver, intestines, and bladder. Sympathetic has the exact same thing, but it does the opposite. So here, dilates pupils, inhibits salivation, accelerates the heartbeat, dilates the bronchi so you can take a deeper breath. It will inhibit your digestion, so it can send the blood to other places like your muscles so that you can run. It will stimulate glucose relief, give you the sugar and the energy that you need to fight or flight. It will stimulate the hormones that you need. It will, again, inhibit digestion, and it relaxes the bladder, which is why when you get really, really scared, you can pee on yourself. Over here, this is all about calming down, so slowing the heartbeat, taking shallower breaths, doing your normal digestion of your food, and all of that stuff. The peripheral nervous system includes all of the parts of the nervous system outside of your brain and your spinal cord. So this is the central nervous system, CNS. The rest of it is your peripheral nervous system. And there are a whole lot of nerves. Reflexes are involuntary. So when you go to the doctor and he knocks on your knee and you kick out your leg and you didn't mean to, that is an involuntary reflex. Involuntary reflexes are very quick, and it is a way that your body responds to stimuli without even thinking about it. The spinal cord is in charge of involuntary responses, and it mostly happens around things that could harm us. So in this picture here, guy puts his finger too close to a flame, and his involuntary reflex is to jerk his hand away. The endocrine system. The endocrine system is responsible for regulating body temperature, metabolism, development, and reproduction. It also helps maintain homeostasis, meaning it keeps your body all balanced. This system produces chemical messages called hormones. So the endocrine system sends hormones to tell the different parts of your body what to do. The organs involved in the endocrine system include the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus gland, the thyroid, which is in your neck, the parathyroid glands, the adrenal gland, the pancreas, the penile body, the thymus, ovaries, and testes. The hypothalamus and the pituitary gland serve as the control center for the endocrine system. That means it is the one that makes the decisions on what type of hormones are going to be sent out. The hypothalamus is in the area of the brain that coordinates the activities of the nervous and the endocrine systems. Hypothalamus is in the center of it all. It controls body temperature, blood pressure, and your emotions. The hypothalamus receives information on external and internal conditions from the nervous system and responds by issuing instructions in the form of hormones to the pituitary gland. So it takes in information from the nervous system, telling it what's going on, if you're in trouble, if you're relaxed, whatever's happening. And then it responds by telling your pituitary gland what hormones to put out. The pituitary gland will secrete the hormones and send them to the parts of the body that need to know, like the heart and the digestive system and your muscles. All right, last system that we're going to talk about is the reproductive system. Starting with the male organs. The male organs are made out of the testes, the epididymis, the vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, Cowper's glands, urethra, penis. The testes is a gamete, so it is a reproduction hormone, and it produces the sperm. The testes are located inside of the scrotum, which is an external sac of skin. At a normal body temperature, it's too hot for the sperm to completely develop. So the purpose of the scrotum is to lower the temperature of the testes by about 3 degrees, which makes it an ideal location for sperm production. If the testes get too hot, you can't make sperm, which means you can't have babies. Men make sperm from when puberty kicks in until they die. They make it at a rate of several 100 million per day. Each testicle contains many tightly coiled tubes called the seminiferous tubes, and they are all up in here. The endocrine system releases 2 hormones to regulate the function of the testes in sperm production. The luteinizing hormone secretes testosterone, and the follicle stimulating hormone, along with testosterone, stimulates sperm production. After sperm is produced, they travel up a long tube called the epididymis. From the epididymis, the sperm move to the vas deferens, to the urethra, and then exit the body by passing through the same duct that urine exits the body. This slide is about the structure of the sperm. It has the head up here, which has very little cytoplasm. Sperm are not meant to live very long. They have one purpose, purpose only, and they live just long enough to perform that purpose. The middle of it right here is where the mitochondria is, and down here is the tail, which is a flagella, and it's used for movement. So it just whips back and forth. Outside of the body, sperm can live max 4 days. All right, female reproductive organs. The external parts are called the vulva, the labia minora, and the labia minora. The internal parts are the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, and vagina. So here is a picture of the female reproductive parts. The uterus is on the inside, right in the middle, connected by the fallopian tubes to the ovaries. The cervix is down at the bottom, and then the vagina is the opening. The gametes, or the reproduction organs, make eggs. Females are born with all of their eggs. They do not produce them after birth. Usually only one immature egg matures and releases each month. There are exceptions to this. That is why we have twins. Only 300 to 400 egg cells actually mature, even though ovaries contain about 2 million egg cells. A mature egg is called an ovum. An ovum is released once about every 28 days. Ovum moves from ovary to fallopian tube into the uterus. That process of going from the ovum to the uterus takes about 3 to 4 days to complete. If the ovum is not fertilized, if it does not come in contact with the sperm, within 24 to 48 hours, it will die. So here is its travel from the ovum to the fallopian tube into the uterus. The uterus is a hollow but muscular organ. If fertilization occurs, development will take place here. So this is where the baby starts to put itself together. The vagina is a muscular tube that leads from the outside of the female's body to the entrance of the uterus. The door to the uterus is called the cervix. And this is a picture of the endometrial layers based on what's happening with the ovum.